What's a sentence that someone told you that stuck with you for the rest of your life? For me, it wasn't spoken aloud until much later, a quiet realization that echoed louder than any shouted word. It started with Sarah, my best friend since we were barely tall enough to see over the counter. We were inseparable, two halves of a whole, navigating childhood and then the hopeful chaos of college together. Moving into that small apartment felt like the ultimate adventure. We'd share secrets, ambitions, dreams under the glow of our bedside lamps, or so I thought. But the harmony began to fray, almost imperceptibly. It was never anything overt. Just a slight dip in her smile when I mentioned a good grade, or the way her eyes would subtly glaze over if I shared an achievement. Conversations about my new passion for photography, which once sparked lively exchanges, became brief, punctuated by her sudden need to check her phone. Sometimes she'd forget to mention gatherings with our wider circle of friends, only for me to learn about them secondhand. When I'd gently inquire, she'd offer a soft, almost imperceptible shrug, a casual, "Oh, I just assumed you were busy." I brushed it off, attributing it to stress, or perhaps just a misunderstanding. She was Sarah, after all. My Sarah? The one who knew every embarrassing story, every quiet fear. The one who was supposed to be in my corner. Yet the air between us seemed to thicken, laden with unspoken things. There were the late-night talks, or rather, monologues from her, about her own struggles, her triumphs, where my contributions felt like interruptions, met with a vacant stare. Her advice, once a comfort, began to feel like veiled critique, always gently steering me away from too much confidence, too much visibility. "You are so sensitive," she'd say, a soft, almost sympathetic tone, whenever I expressed discomfort. "You just need to toughen up." The moment of stark clarity arrived after I'd worked tirelessly on a grant application, pouring weeks of my soul into it. When the acceptance email landed, confirming my selection for a prestigious research opportunity, I was ecstatic. I remember rushing home, barely containing my joy, eager to share the news with the one person I believed would truly celebrate with me. Sarah was there, in the living room, scrolling through her phone, a familiar, distant look on her face. "I got it, Sarah." I blurted out, my voice trembling with excitement, the words spilling out before I could even fully process them. "The research grant. I actually got it." I waited, my heart thrumming, for her usual enthusiastic reaction, the hug, the genuine smile. But it never came. She slowly lowered her phone, her gaze finally meeting mine, but it held no warmth. Instead, there was a flicker of something I couldn't quite place, a cold, sharp glint. Her voice, when it came, was flat, almost detached. "Oh, that's good, I guess." She paused, then added, her eyes narrowing ever so slightly, "Just don't let it get to your head. You know how easily you get carried away." The air in the room seemed to freeze. The words themselves were a sting, but it was the quiet, almost clinical delivery, the complete absence of shared joy, that truly pierced me. It was then, in that suffocating silence, that the true weight of her subtle dismissals, her veiled criticisms, her constant undercutting, crashed over me. The realization, sharp and undeniable, settled deep within my bones: she was never truly happy for me. She was only ever happy for herself, and my success was simply a threat to her own fragile equilibrium. The sentence that stuck with me, unspoken by anyone else, was simply this: "Some people thrive on keeping you down."